Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush green jungle filled with all sorts of chirps and squeaks, there lived a playful little monkey named Giggles. Everyone called him Giggles because he loved to laugh. He laughed when he swung from tree to tree, when he shared bananas with his friends, and even when he sneezed. Yes, Giggles laughed at his own sneezes. One morning, while playing hide and seek with his best friend, Ellie the elephant, Giggles stumbled upon something strange. It was long, yellow, and curved like a crescent moon. And as Giggles got closer, he realized it was a banana. But not just any banana. It was the biggest banana he had ever seen. It was so big that it looked like a slide for a tiny monkey like Giggles. "Wow!" he exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. "If I ate this whole banana, I wouldn't need any more bananas for the rest of the week." As Giggles rubbed his tummy, his mind started racing. What if instead of eating this giant banana, he did something crazy, something that no monkey had ever done before? Suddenly, an idea popped into his head, making him giggle. "What if I turned this banana into a rocket ship?" he asked Ellie. "A banana rocket ship," Ellie echoed, her trunk wiggling with amusement. "That's the silliest idea I've heard today, and that's saying something," she said with a wink. "But who knows? Maybe your banana rocket ship will take you to the moon." And so, with Ellie's help, Giggles began his work. He gathered strong vines to use as ropes. He collected big green leaves to make wings. He even found some coconuts to use as wheels. Giggles was so excited that he started to sing as he worked. "Banana rocket, we're gonna fly so high, higher than the clouds, way up to the sky." When Giggles finished, his banana rocket was unlike anything the jungle had ever seen. It was tall and proud like a real rocket ship. It had vines wrapped around it like tight bandages. It had big green wings and even a smiley face painted on the front with berries. "It's perfect," Giggles said, swinging on a vine next to his creation. "Just wait till Tico sees this. He'll be so surprised." Tico the parrot was known for being amazed by everything. He loved surprises. So when Giggles told him about his banana rocket, Tico couldn't wait to see it. As he flew towards the clearing where Giggles and Ellie were waiting, Tico squawked with excitement. "Tell me it's true. Tell me it's true. You made a banana rocket, me and you." When Tico saw the banana rocket, his beak dropped. Holy moly, he squawked. "This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. A banana rocket. Who would have thought?" He shook his head in disbelief. "You guys are so creative. I bet it could fly to the moon," Tico added with a smile. Yes, of course it can," Giggles said, puffing out his chest. "Look, I even made coconut wheels for it so we can zoom through space. I think it's time we test this bad boy out," Ellie said with a mischievous glint in her eye. "Let's go to the river. There is a big hill there and we can roll it down and see how far it goes." "Great idea, Ellie," Giggles said. "I'll be the first to ride in my banana rocket ship. Who wants to come with me?" he asked, turning to his friends. "Ooh, I want to go," Tico said, flapping his wings excitedly. But Ellie shook her head. No, you two go ahead. I'll stay here and make sure nobody steals a banana rocket while you're gone," she said with a wink. So Giggles and Tico set off for the river. They pushed the banana rocket with all their might, and after a while, they reached the top of the hill. "All right, Tico, Are you ready for this? Giggles asked, grinning from ear to ear. As I'll ever be, Tico replied. Giggles took a deep breath and let go of the rope. The banana rocket started to roll down the hill. At first, it was slow, but then it picked up speed. We're doing it! Giggles shouted over the wind. We're flying! The banana rocket zoomed past trees and bushes. It went under vines and over logs. Giggles and Tico laughed and screamed with joy. They had never felt anything like this before. Suddenly, the banana rocket came to a stop with a bump. It had reached the river. Giggles and Tico peeked over the edge. Oh! Tico whispered. We don't know how deep the water is. What if the banana rocket sinks? Don't worry, Tico, Giggles said, trying to sound brave. But he was scared too. Together, they slowly climbed out of the banana rocket. Then Giggles had an idea. Hey, Tico, why don't you fly up high and see how deep the water is? You can splash the water with your wings and make a big mess, he said with a wink. Tico loved messing around in the water. So without wasting any time, he flapped his wings and flew as high as he could. He swooped down and splashed the water with all his might. But instead of helping, he only made the water slosh around the banana rocket. Giggles sighed. Looks like we'll have to do it ourselves, he said. He closed his eyes and jumped right into the river. Splash! Water went everywhere and Giggles popped out of the river with a goofy grin. He looked around. It's shallow, he shouted. Come on in, Tico. Tico wasted no time. He flew down and splashed into the river next to Giggles. Giggles and Tico swam around the banana rocket, but it wouldn't budge. How are we supposed to move this thing? Tico asked, panting from the effort. I have an idea, Giggles said, swimming closer to the banana rocket. He wrapped his arms around the banana and pushed with all his strength. 1, 2, 3, he counted. Wow! He gasped for air. I can't hold it much longer. Me neither, Tico replied, paddling next to him. We need some help. At that moment, Ellie came running. She had seen the whole thing from afar and now she was ready to help. All right, you two need to take a break, she said, wrapping her tusks around the banana rocket. Let me show you how an elephant moves things. With a mighty heave, Ellie lifted the banana rocket out of the water. She walked back up the hill and placed it gently on the ground. There, she said with a smile. Now we can take our time and figure out what to do with it. Giggles and Tico thanked Ellie and sat on the ground feeling tired and wet. You know, Tico said, wiping water out of his eyes with his wing. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to turn that banana into a rocket. It's heavy and now it's soaked. Yeah, Giggles agreed, shaking water off his head. Who needs a banana rocket when you have real friends? Just then, the three friends burst out laughing. They laughed until their sides hurt. You know what? Giggles said when he could finally speak. I don't care if we can't fly to the moon. This banana rocket is the fastest splash rocket in the whole jungle. From that day on, Giggles and his friends played in the river with the banana rocket. They splashed and slid and laughed until their bellies hurt. Whenever they heard Giggles' silly giggles echoing through the jungle, the other animals couldn't help but smile. After all, who could stay grumpy when Giggles and his friends were having fun?